Well, friends, thank you for spending your Sunday morning with me and allowing me to come into your space. Let us come together as like minded people and always bring peace and love and hope unto one another. Well, my lesson title today is Born for a Reason. And this particular lesson is filled with hidden gems that will help us answer the question why we're here. In the book of Jeremiah, chapter 33, verse 3, it says, "Call to me, and I will answer, and will tell you great and hidden things that you have not known." Well, growing up, many of us were told many things, some verbally and not so verbally, that just weren't true. Conversely, we were not told things that were true. Therefore, it is time for us to drive out the false information and open ourselves up to explore some spiritual truths about ourselves that we may never have been told. In essence, we want to discover the great and hidden things not known to us. One day, a man found an egg and put it in a nest of barnyard hens. Little did the man know that the egg was not the egg of a chicken, but was the egg of an eagle. Obviously, the little eaglet didn't know either. So he hatched with a brood of chicks, and he began thinking like a chicken, and living like a chicken lives. He scratched the earth for worms and insects and chicken feed. He clucked and cackled. He splashed awkwardly in the air, flying just a few feet up, and then clumsily falling back to the ground. Years went by, and this eagle who thought he was a chicken grew very, very old. One day he noticed something exquisite, flying gracefully and beautifully in the sky. It was a magnificent bird with gliding majestically along this path of currents and winds with scarcely a beat of its strong golden wings. The old eagle looked up in awe. "What is that?" "It's an eagle. It's the king of the birds," his neighbor said. "It can soar. It belongs to the sky. It is free. We aren't like that. We're just chickens. We belong to the earth." So the eagle, who thought he was a chicken, spent the rest of his life thinking that way, because that's what he thought he was. Tell me, who do you think you are? Were you born for the reason of being a chicken? Belonging to the earth, determined to cluck and cackle and scratch the ground for worms and insects, occasionally and self-consciously flapping your wings in an attempt to fly, but never making it off the ground? Or do you know that you were born to be a majestic eagle, absolutely and positively able to soar gracefully, beautifully, and freely throughout your life? You know, coincidentally, there's something funny here. Those who taught you to be a chicken didn't know they were eagles either. They attempted to hold you back unconsciously to keep you safe, or in some cases, to keep you from soaring above them, out of some false sense of their own childhood or world. We have to begin to think about how things are happening in our lives, why we are doing things in certain ways. Many times it's simply out of some sense of habit, something that we grew up believing. But we have to come into a new understanding, a new way of being. You see, the ideal here is that we begin to focus on our truth, that we find our good. So that's why it's so amazing that someone could try to teach us to be something because they didn't know what their true self was either. Well, let's get into why this all happens. Let's talk about the sheer truth of things. We live in a world now where we must begin to consider our truth. What are you aware of? What do you think about yourself? Because the idea and the thoughts that you have about yourself are the things you're going to reflect onto someone else. When you are not feeling good about you, of course you're not going to want to see someone else feeling good about themselves. So it's important for us to come into a relationship with who we are to figure out why we were born. Well, now that we think about it, now that we've got into that whole concept, let's take a look at the truth of our being. What is the truth here? We need to answer three very important questions because we've been told things all of our lives, some true, but some untrue. Now, these three questions will help us go a long way in bringing out our or expressing our real truths and dispelling any untruths. By answering these questions, we will come into a new relationship with ourselves. These three questions are: why are you here? What are you here to do? Who are you here to be? In essence, we want to discover why we were born. And by answering these three questions, no, by living by these three questions, it will enable us to spread our wings and soar like a majestic eagle. Number one, why are you here? If you've been paying attention, this is one of those questions that I've been talking about every week. But this time I'm going to talk about it in different ways that are more significant to what I want to share with you today. So listen up. You are here to bring spirit, God, or heavenly energy into this earthly experience in your own perfect way. You are here so that the divine idea of spirit can fulfill itself within you. You are here so that you may complete a divine connection. You are here to bring the metaphysical or the infinite potentiality into the physical or tangible. This is truly a spiritual discovery, and it's a discovery worth making. Ralph Waldo Emerson, he said, "There is no planet, sun, or star that could hold you if you but knew what you are." There is no planet, sun, or star that could hold you if you but knew what you are. Oftentimes, not recognizing who we are or the power that we have within us, we look around and say things like, I wish I could be like him or her. Or, she gets all the breaks. Why can't I be like that? We think everyone else has it but us. Friends, you are here to be who you are and to make the divine connection complete. Number two, what are you here to do? The answer to this question has many more possibilities, but it's imperative that we all get this. We are here to put an end to the not enough paradigm. In fact, we're here to prove that it doesn't exist, even though we've been told over and over and over again that it does. Not enough love, not enough time, not enough energy, not enough creativity, not enough supply, and not enough money. James Dillard Friedman said, we will know God as our source. No, he says, we will know God as our supply and our resource, as well as claim our privilege when we have dismissed our fear of wealth and well-being. What is he saying? We will know God as our source when we are no longer afraid of our prosperity. Friends, we've all heard the word affluence, but what do we think when we hear that word? Affluence actually means flowing forth or a free flow. Eric Butterworth says a free flow is the flow of substance in the universe. So the word affluence actually refers to the free flow of unlimited substance through which the universe was created. Affluence is the natural flow of things for us. We were born of affluence. Affluence is in our DNA. We have no reason to be afraid of our prosperity. When we are seeing not enough, we are seeing a disappointment in the natural flow of life. So what are you here to do? You are here to put an absolute end to thinking not enough. You are here to release thoughts of hatred, sickness, poverty, sin, and all sorts of things from your consciousness. You are here to prove that the principles work. That's what you are here to do, to embody the spirit that is within you, to embody your prosperity and put away the ideas of there not being enough. There is more than enough. Number 3, who are you here to be? Finally, you are here to be a spiritual leader, to fulfill the divine idea of spirit within you. Or as Jesus said in Matthew 28, verse 18, to make disciples of all nations. To absolutely take authority over the universe. Now I know that stepping into spiritual leadership can seem a little intimidating, and that's okay if you're new to this. But for those of you who have been on this path for a while, what are you doing to be a spiritual leader? Franklin Delano Roosevelt said, "Our true destiny is not to be ministered unto, but to minister to ourselves and our fellow men." Positive thoughts about prosperity can make you a magnet for prosperity. However, it's useless unless you are teaching others to be prosperous. The plain fact is, we teach and lead based on how we live. And stepping into spiritual leadership means refusing to play the victim or self-pity game. It means choosing to be the voice of love in situations of hate. It means having a positive, life-affirming influence on others. It means being a ray of sunshine at your office. It means sharing insights and practices of prosperity with others. It means practicing spiritual maturity and giving back 10% to the source or sources from which you've been spiritually fed. It means believing in yourself and exposing those you love and those around you to your inner ego. Let's take a look at the ego and see if any of this resonates with us. You are an eagle. You are born to fly on your own. You are born to use your powers of vision and concentration to accomplish your goals. You are born to know when to let go, to to find possibilities and solutions in the storms in life, to create committed partnerships, to master change and to step out of your comfort zone, and to be reborn when your old self is no longer working. Yes, you are an eagle, born to lead, born of affluence, and born for a reason. A Course in Miracles says, why, why would anyone attempt to fly with the tiny wings of a sparrow when the mighty power of an eagle is within him? Friends, what does that mean for us? Why would we attempt to be a chicken when we have the mighty power of spirit within us? Not the eagle and not us. We must step out and come into our own. Come into a relationship with ourselves, knowing that God is at work in our lives and that nothing else matters if we put God first. Friends, no matter your age or where you've been in life, no matter what you've done or haven't done, no matter how left out or lost you may have felt, no matter what anyone has told you previously, it is never too late to soar like a spiritual eagle. It is never too late to remember why you are here, what you are here to do, and who you are here to be. You were born for a reason. Stop listening to the chickens and start listening to your inner eagle. And if you can come into an acceptance and an acknowledgement of this, you will come into a new awareness that will allow you to spread your mighty wings and soar like a majestic eagle. Just come forth with your truth, knowing that there is nothing and no one against you, knowing that it's upon you to bring yourself into relationship with God. It's on you to come forth in your power. It's on you to know your prosperity. Are you willing to do this with me today? Well, thank you all, and God bless you.